First Contact's deception. The Zoran warship emerged from hyperspace with the graceful menace of a shark, its crystalline hull refracting sunlight across Earth's orbital space. Admiral Sarah Chen watched from the hidden observation post on Lunar Base Alpha, her weathered face illuminated by holographic displays showing the alien vessel's approach. 20 years of commanding Earth's classified space defense force had prepared her for this moment. Humanity's first contact with an advanced civilization. Multiple energy signatures detected. Admiral, Lieutenant Hayes reported, his fingers dancing across the quantum interface. Their weapon systems are powered down, but their scanning arrays are running hot. Chen nodded, maintaining her composed demeanor despite the gravity of the situation. The lunar base's quantum camouflage field kept them hidden from alien sensors, allowing humanity to observe without revealing their true technological capabilities, a strategy that had taken decades to perfect. The main view screen flickered as the Zorans broadcast their message across all frequencies. A tall, elegant figure appeared, skin like polished obsidian, with bioluminescent patterns flowing across their face. People of Earth, I am High Commander Vexthor of the Zoran Empire. We come in peace, seeking diplomatic relations with your world. Chen exchanged knowing looks with her senior staff. The intelligence division had intercepted enough Zoran communications over the past 5 years to know their true nature, an empire built on subjugating lesser species and stripping their worlds of resources. They're broadcasting worldwide, Hayes confirmed. All major governments are receiving the transmission. The public face of Earth's leadership, the United Earth Council, would respond exactly as planned. Play the role of an awestruck primitive civilization, while the real power remained hidden. Begin Protocol Omega, Chen ordered. Upload the prepared response through the civilian channels, and get me a secure link to Director Santos at Project Phoenix. The next few hours unfolded according to plan. Earth's official representatives expressed wonder and gratitude at the Zorans' arrival. Meanwhile, Chen's teams analyzed every scrap of data they could gather from the alien vessel. Their shield harmonics are exactly as our deep space probes indicated, Chief Engineer Puddle reported. The crystalline hull structure has the same vulnerabilities we suspected. Project Phoenix's weapon systems will be effective. Chen allowed herself a small smile. The Zorans had no idea that humans had discovered their scout ships years ago, or that Earth had reversed engineered key technologies while developing their own unique innovations. High Commander Vexthor's honeyed words continued to flow. Promises of technological gifts, cultural exchange, and protection. But his ship's intensive scanning of Earth's biosphere told the real story. The Zorans weren't here for diplomacy. They wanted Earth's unique biological compounds, rare elements, and most importantly, human genetic material. They're particularly interested in the Antarctic research stations, Hayes noted. Multiple focused scans of our deep-sea thermal vents too. Of course they are, Chen replied. Both locations house our most advanced facilities, hidden under legitimate research operations. Keep the quantum shrouding at maximum power. The day proceeded with artificial pleasantries. The Zorans presented impressive but carefully limited technological displays, while Earth's representatives played their roles perfectly, showing just enough advancement to be interesting, but not enough to seem threatening. As the sun set over the Pacific, Chen received the confirmation she'd been waiting for. Director Santos's message was brief. Project Phoenix is ready. All systems are go. Chen turned to her command staff, her voice steady but charged with purpose. Send word to all hidden bases. Initiate full combat readiness, but maintain stealth protocols. The Zorans think they're dealing with naive children who'll be dazzled by their shiny toys. In 3 days, when their main fleet arrives expecting to find an easily conquered world, they'll learn humanity's greatest secret. She stood at the view screen, watching the crystalline ship glitter against Earth's backdrop. We're not here to be conquered. We're here to reshape the galaxy. The next 72 hours would change everything. Humanity had spent decades preparing for this moment. developing technologies that merged biological enhancement with mechanical precision. The Zoran's crystalline ships were about to meet their match in Earth's bioorganic fleet, warships that could adapt, heal, and evolve mid-battle. First contact wasn't going to go the way the Zorans expected. Not at all. Project Phoenix Rising. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean floor, Director Maya Santos walked through the bioluminescent corridors of Project Phoenix's main facility. Living metal pulsed beneath her feet, responding to her presence with subtle changes in light and temperature. After 15 years of development, the merger of organic and mechanical technology had yielded results beyond their wildest expectations. Status report, she commanded, entering the vast spherical chamber that served as the project's nerve center. Holographic displays filled the air, showing real-time data from their hidden facilities across the globe. Dr. Elena Volkov, head of bioengineering, gestured to the largest display. The neural integration is holding steady at 99.7% across all vessels. The organic computing cores have fully bonded with their hosts. Santos studied the readings with pride. While the Zorans built their ships from cold crystal and metal, humanity had taken a different approach. They had created vessels that were alive, warships with organic brains and regenerating hulls, powered by artificially engineered biological processes that defied conventional physics. "Show me the Hyperion," Santos ordered. The hologram shifted, revealing their flagship. Nearly 2 kilometers of living metal and engineered tissue, the Hyperion resembled a massive predatory creature more than a traditional spacecraft. Its hull rippled with chromatophores like a cuttlefish, capable of perfect camouflage even in space. Weapons pods were disguised as natural armor plates, concealing railguns that fired projectiles sheathed in plasma field generators. "Captain Rodriguez reports all systems are optimal," her assistant noted. "The bio-crew interface is performing beyond specifications. The ship's consciousness has fully synchronized with the command staff." That had been their greatest breakthrough, creating vessels that could form true symbiotic relationships with their crews. Each ship was a living entity, partnered with its human operators in ways the Zorans couldn't comprehend. A priority alert flashed across the displays. Director, Dr. Volkov called out, "The Zoran flagship is broadcasting again. You need to see this." The image of High Commander Vexthor appeared, his bioluminescent patterns now arranged in what their xenobiologists had identified as an expression of smug superiority. "People of Earth," he announced, "our main fleet will arrive tomorrow to formally welcome you into the protection of the Zoran Empire. Prepare for a demonstration of our power that will leave no doubt about the benefits of accepting our guidance." Santos exchanged looks with her team. The Zorans were moving faster than expected, likely eager to secure Earth's resources before any other galactic powers noticed. They had detected the arrival of 15 additional scout ships in the past hour, positioning themselves around the planet. "They're mapping defensive installations," the tactical officer reported, "focusing on our visible military bases and satellite networks." "Let them look," Santos replied. "They'll find exactly what we want them to see." She opened a secure channel to Lunar Base Alpha. "Admiral Chen, how long until the Hyperion battle group is ready?" Chen's response was immediate. "All ships report ready for neural integration. We can launch as soon as you give the word." Santos turned to Dr. Volkov. "Begin final activation sequence. It's time to wake our fleet." Throughout the facility, massive chambers hummed with activity as the bioorganic ships stirred to life. Each vessel was unique, evolved for specific combat roles. The Hyperion was their heavy battleship, but they also had lighter corvettes for intercepting, destroyers specialized in electronic warfare, and carriers that housed swarms of fighter craft with pilots neurally linked to their machines. "Ma'am," her assistant interrupted, "we're detecting additional Zoran ships entering the system, much larger than the advance force." Santos smiled grimly. The Zorans were showing their hand early, trying to intimidate Earth with a show of force. They had no idea they were swimming into the depths of an ocean they didn't understand, about to encounter predators they never evolved to face. "Send word to all facilities," she ordered. "Operation Leviathan begins at dawn. Let's show our visitors why humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology. It's our ability to adapt and evolve." In chambers across the globe, crews entered their ships through organic airlocks, connecting to neural interfaces that would make them one with their vessels. The Hyperion's massive form stirred in its underground bay, its living metal skin rippling with anticipation. Tomorrow, humanity would reveal itself not as prey, but as an apex predator. The Zoran Empire was about to learn that Earth's oceans weren't the only things that held leviathans. The Hidden Fleet awakens. Dawn broke over the Pacific as the Zoran battle fleet materialized in Earth's orbit. 50 crystalline warships, their hulls shimmering with barely contained energy, arranged themselves in a display of overwhelming force. At their center, High Commander Vex Thor's flagship dwarfed its companions, a living crystal mountain 16 kilometers long. In the Hyperion's Neural Command Center, Captain Isabella Rodriguez felt her ship's anticipation mirror her own. The bio-neural interface pulsed with shared emotion as her consciousness merged with the vessel's organic mind. "They certainly love their theatrics," she thought, both to her crew and the ship itself. The Hyperion's amusement rippled through their shared neural space. Above, the Zorans began their demonstration. Their ships fired precise energy beams into Earth's atmosphere, creating stunning light shows while carefully avoiding any actual damage. A calculated display of power meant to awe and intimidate. "All ships report ready," Lieutenant Commander Zhang announced, his thoughts flowing through the neural network. "Biocores are at optimal resonance. Quantum camouflage is holding." Rodriguez took a deep breath, feeling the Hyperion's massive heart beating in sync with her own. "Send word to all vessels. Synchronize emergence on my mark." Across the planet, humanity's hidden fleet waited. The Hyperion and its battle group lurked beneath the Pacific. The stealth corvettes of Shadow Squadron hovered in the mesosphere, cloaked by their advanced biotechnology. The carrier groups lay hidden in underground bases, their bioengineered fighters primed for launch. High Commander Vex Thor's voice boomed across all frequencies. "People of Earth, witness the might of the Zoran Empire. Under our protection, your world will." "Now," Rodriguez commanded. The ocean surface exploded upward as the Hyperion burst from its hiding place, 2 kilometers of living metal and engineered tissue rising on pillars of quantum fire. Water sheets cascaded from its adaptive hull as chromatophores shifted from camouflage to battle colors. Deep blues and blacks with pulsing red highlights. Weapon pods unfurled like blooming flowers of death, their organic housing revealing rails, guns, and plasma projectors. Around the planet, humanity's fleet revealed itself. Shadow Squadron decloaked in high orbit, their biomechanical forms shifting like liquid metal. The carrier groups emerged from hidden mountain bases, launching swarms of mural-linked fighters. From the dark side of the moon, Admiral Chen's heavy combat group appeared, their massive forms silhouetted against the lunar surface. The Zoran communication cut off mid-sentence. For 30 seconds, absolute silence filled all channels. "They're scanning us," John reported, amusement coloring his thoughts. "Their energy readings are spiking. I believe, Captain, that they are what humans once called freaking out." Rodriguez allowed herself a small smile. "Let's give them something else to scan. All ships, initiate biomechanical evolution sequence." The Hyperion's hull rippled as secondary weapon systems emerged from previously smooth surfaces. Organic armor plates shifted and thickened, while sensor arrays blossomed like deadly flowers. Each ship in the fleet underwent similar transformations, their living metal adapting to combat configuration. Finally, Vex Thor's voice returned, all pretense of superiority gone. What is this? Your world was surveyed. You had chemical rockets, primitive fission power. This is impossible." "High Commander," Rodriguez broadcast, her voice steady. "You're partially correct. Earth was surveyed. By us. Those primitive rockets, decoys, the fission plants, camouflage. We've been watching your empire for years, preparing for this moment. Through the neural link, she felt the Hyperion's fierce joy at finally revealing its true nature. The ship's organic mind processed combat solutions faster than any conventional computer, adapting its strategies in real time. You dare deceive the Zoran Empire. Vex Thor's voice cracked with rage. We offer you protection, and you respond with treachery. Protection. Admiral Chen's voice cut in from Lunar Command. We intercepted your mining plans, Vex Thor. Your protection would have stripped our world bare and enslaved our people. Instead, you found something else, humanity's teeth. The Zoran fleet began to move, crystal ships realigning into combat formation. Energy readings spiked as weapon systems charge. Last chance, High Commander, Rodriguez offered. Withdraw your fleet. The Zoran Empire has no authority here. You primitive vermin, Vex Thor snarled. We will reduce your world to ash. Rodriguez felt the Hyperion's battle lust surge through the neural net. Around the planet, hundreds of human crews merged with their living ships, becoming single entities of biological and mechanical perfection. All ships, she commanded, her thoughts resonating through the fleet's shared consciousness. Show them what humanity has evolved to become. The battle for Earth was about to begin, and the galaxy would never be the same. Battle for Sol. Space erupted into chaos as two radically different technologies clashed. The Zoran fleet's crystal ships fired first, their energy weapons creating webs of destructive light across Earth's orbit. But humanity's bioships moved like living creatures, their organic hulls flowing and shifting to evade the assault. Battle evolution initiated, the Hyperion's organic core announced through the neural link. Captain Rodriguez felt the ship's tissue densify as combat adaptations activated. Around her vessel, the human fleet demonstrated why biological enhancement had been worth 2 decades of secret development. Shadow Squadron, begin attack pattern Delta, Rodriguez commanded. Carrier groups, launch all neural-linked fighters. Show them what Earth can do. The smaller corvettes of Shadow Squadron accelerated at impossible angles, their biomechanical structures allowing them to withstand forces that would tear conventional ships apart. They dove through the Zoran formation, their organic weapon pods releasing streams of plasma-sheath projectiles. The crystalline hulls of 3 Zoran cruisers shattered under the assault. Impossible. Vex Thor's voice boomed across the command channel. No material can withstand those gravitational stresses. We stopped thinking in terms of materials, Rodriguez replied calmly as the Hyperion's living hull absorbed and adapted to enemy fire patterns. We started thinking in terms of evolution. Hundreds of neural-linked fighters swarmed from the carrier groups, their pilots mentally fused with their craft. They moved like a coordinated school of fish, flowing through gaps in the Zoran formation. Where crystal ships fired, the fighters simply weren't there anymore, their organic processors calculating trajectories faster than any computer. The Hyperion engaged Vex Thor's flagship directly, its massive form dancing through space with impossible grace. As Zoran energy beams struck its hull, the living metal didn't just resist, it learned. Chromatophores shifted, adapting to disperse energy more efficiently. Weapon pods evolve new configurations mid-battle. Their shield harmonics are adapting. Lieutenant Commander Zhang reported through the neural net. The flagship's crystal structure is reinforcing weak points. Rodriguez smiled. Then we evolve faster. All ships initiate second-stage biomechanical enhancement. Show them what natural selection looks like in real time. The human fleet's transformation was beautiful and terrifying. Ships sprouted new organic armor plates, weapon systems reconfigured themselves based on battle data, and neural networks expanded to process combat information with increasing speed. Each hit they took made them stronger as their living tissue adapted. In contrast, the Zoran ships fought with predetermined patterns and fixed capabilities. Their crystal technology was powerful but unchanging, Against an enemy that evolved by the minute, they began to falter. Admiral Chen, Rodriguez called through the command link. They're attempting to concentrate fire on the North American defense grid, requesting lunar battery support. Granted, Chen replied. The dark side of the moon lit up as massive bioorganic cannon arrays emerged from hidden craters. The lunar surface itself seemed to come alive, revealing weapons that had been growing and evolving for years. Vexthor's flagship took a direct hit from the lunar batteries. Crystalline armor cracked, exposing internal systems to space. "This is not possible," he raged. "You were primitives. We had surveys. Reports. We learned from the best," Rodriguez responded as the Hyperion's weapons found another weak point in the flagship's hull. "Life on Earth evolved to survive in the harshest conditions. We simply applied that principle to space warfare." The battle's turning point came when the neural-linked fighters discovered a resonance frequency in the Zoran crystal technology. Working as one networked consciousness, they coordinated their attacks to exploit this weakness. Crystal ships began to shatter, their elegant forms breaking apart in cascading failures. "Your empire built weapons," Rodriguez broadcast as the Hyperion's organic computers calculated the flagship's destruction point. "We grew them. Your ships are tools. Ours are alive. That's the difference between conquest and evolution." The Hyperion's final attack was precisely calculated. Bioorganic torpedoes phased through the flagship's weakened shields, their payload designed to disrupt crystal lattice structures at the molecular level. Vexthor's mighty vessel began to break apart, its destruction marking the end of Zoran dominance in the Sol system. "All ships, hold fire," Rodriguez commanded as the surviving Zoran vessels began emergency maneuvers to retreat. "Let them go. Let them tell their empire what they found here." As the alien fleet flowed into hyperspace, Earth's bioships began their own evolution once more, this time adapting to repair battle damage. Their living hulls sealed breaches, regrew armor, and optimized systems based on combat data. Humanity had not just survived its first major space battle, it had demonstrated a new form of warfare that would revolutionize the galaxy. The age of static technology was over. The era of evolutionary combat had begun. Through the neural link, Rodriguez felt the Hyperion's satisfaction mirroring her own. They had proven that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't its technology. It was its ability to adapt, to evolve, to become something new. The stars themselves seemed to shine brighter as Earth's fleet regrouped, their living ships pulsing with victory and the promise of future evolution. A new dawn. 6 months after the Battle of Sol, the Great Hall of the Galactic Conclave fell silent as humanity's delegation made their entrance. The bioorganic architecture of their diplomatic vessel had caused a sensation when it docked at the ancient space station. Now, as Admiral Chen and Captain Rodriguez walked the crystal-paved aisle, representatives from 1,000 worlds watched with mixture of fear and fascination. The Hyperion held position outside, its living hull now evolved far beyond its original form. Like all of Earth's ships, it had continued to adapt and grow, incorporating lessons from the battle. Its presence served as a reminder of humanity's unprecedented victory over the Zoran Empire. "The Conclave recognizes Earth's representatives," announced High Speaker Angstara, her crystalline form shimming with diplomatic patterns. "You come before us as something new." "We come as who we have always been," Chen replied, her voice carrying across the vast chamber. "A species that survives, adapts, and evolves. The Zoran Empire's attempt to subjugate us simply accelerated our revelation to the galaxy." Murmurs rippled through the assembled dignitaries. The defeat of the Zorans had shattered centuries of established power structures. Their empire, once thought invincible, had been forced to sign a non-aggression pact with Earth. More importantly, the battle footage had spread across the galaxy, showing weapons and ships that defied conventional understanding. "You concealed your true technological level," accused the Zoran representative, his patterns displaying anger. "You deliberately missiled our surveys." Rodriguez stepped forward, her neural implants giving her a subtle glow. We learned from Earth's oceans, where the most dangerous predators are often the ones you don't see until it's too late. We study your empire's history of protecting worlds by stripping them of resources. So yes, we hid. We watched. We evolved. The Hyperion's presence pulsed outside the station's windows, its chromatophores creating patterns that made several crystalline species visibly uncomfortable. Through her neural link, Rodriguez felt the ship's amusement at their reaction. The balance of power has shifted, Chen continued. But we're not here to replace the Zoran Empire's dominance with our own. We propose something new. An interstellar order based on mutual respect and shared evolution. She gestured, and holographic displays materialized throughout the chamber. Earth's bioorganic technology isn't just for warfare. Our ships can be adapted for exploration, for healing, for building. We offer this knowledge freely to any world that pledges to use it for growth rather than conquest. The hall erupted in shocked discussions. Freely sharing such advanced technology violated centuries of tradition. But humanity had already proven they didn't care much for traditional limitations. And if we refuse, asked a crystalline elder, if we prefer our traditional ways, then you risk being left behind. Rodriguez answered simply. Evolution doesn't wait for permission. Life finds a way forward, or it stagnates and dies. That's true for species, for civilizations, and for galaxies. Through the neural network, she received updates from Earth. The first wave of diplomatic requests had already begun, with dozens of worlds seeking to establish relations with humanity. More importantly, research teams were reporting success in adapting bioorganic technology for environmental restoration, medical applications, and deep space exploration. The age of static empires is over, Chen declared to the conclave. We invite you all to join us in writing the next chapter of galactic history, not as conquerors or subjects, but as fellow travelers on the path of evolution. High Speaker Engsterra's crystalline form resonated with what humans had learned to recognize as deep thought. You have shattered many preconceptions about primitive worlds, she admitted. Perhaps it is time for the conclave itself to evolve. Outside, the Hyperion's living hull rippled with patterns of possibility. Humanity's first victory hadn't been destroying the Zoran fleet. It had been surviving long enough to reveal themselves on their own terms. Now they would help guide the galaxy toward a future where adaptation and cooperation replaced stagnation and dominance. We are all products of evolution, Rodriguez concluded, feeling the ship's consciousness harmonize with her words. The only question is whether we choose to embrace change or resist it. Earth has made its choice. We invite the galaxy to evolve with us. As the conclave erupted into historic debates about the future, human ships throughout the galaxy continued their endless adaptation. They were no longer just humanity's shields. They were the seeds of a new age, where the line between biological and mechanical, between growth and technology, would blur and transform forever. The stars themselves seemed to shine with new possibility, as if the very fabric of space recognized that evolution had taken a new and unprecedented turn. Humanity had not just survived its trial by fire. It had emerged as something entirely new, pioneers of an evolutionary revolution that would reshape the very meaning of civilization. And somewhere in the depths of space, the living ships continued to grow, to change, to become something more. Just as they always had, just as they always would.